Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you this week's live paper crafting class. It is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. It's so fun to read comments before the video starts. I love doing lives on YouTube, you guys, so thank you for chiming in. Thank you for saying something before the live begins. It's just like a fun little community we got going on here. And everybody's getting ready for Christmas. So how fun is that? A big hello to you if you are new to my channel. I hope that you come back again after seeing what I have to share today. And if you're a returning viewer, yay. Thank you so much for your loyalty. You're continuing to come back and watch our videos time and time again. And then if you're a channel member, a fan, or a supporter, I am so grateful to you. So thanks for being here with us live and using those fun emojis. Anyways, I made some new ones. Did you notice? They're really cool. We are going to be doing something with a kit today. Does that surprise any of you? I have in my hands more than one of these perpetual calendars that just came out the beginning of this month. And I'm stinking excited about them. I bought some for gifts even. I think it's one of the best kits ever. In fact, it's so awesome that I actually did not do anything different to my personal one when I made it. I followed the directions in the kit to the T. Like, it's crazy. That's never been done in the history of kits with Rachel before. That's how much I love this kit. But then I had some leftovers. And I thought, well, if I have leftovers, we got to use them up, right? So being that I am a fan of using those leftovers, I am going to share those cards with you today. I'm going to show you what I did. I did have to bring in a little bit more extra product, though. I do have to tell you that. But I think that there's a perfect stamp set and designer paper that coordinate together, by the way, that are fabulous for this particular set of cards. So jolly, jolly, jolly. I love it, Trish. She put all of the little hollies up there. Jolly, I should have said holly, holly, holly. She put all these little holly emojis. So I put that one up especially for today so that those of you that are in the Christmas spirit can post that emoji. So yay. All right. We have lots of members chiming in today, you guys. This is so much fun. And thank you to Trisha Josephs, who is our moderator on YouTube for us today. We do not have a moderator on Facebook, but thank you all for chiming in on Facebook too. Lisa is on a wonderfully long vacation. I hope she's enjoying herself. We are going to start. So let's first go to my desktop so that you can see this kit. So this is the box. It's a unique size box. It's a little bit flatter, longer, wider than you would normally see in our kits collection kits, but that's because it houses something different. Like, it's a totally different shape kit, right? This is the calendar. It's a good size calendar. I don't even have the measurements for it. Let me tell you, in case you're trying to discover if it will fit on your wall or whatever. It is 7¼ inches by, including the spiral part, 11 inches. So that way you can decide whether you want to get one and fit it into the space on your wall. It comes packaged very nicely with the directions. It's got a little sheet behind it that shows the stamp images. And then within here you have the bonus clear block that you get with all of our kits collection kits that include stamps and ink. You also have all of your consumable pieces. Now I've already opened up one of these kits. So I'm going to set this one aside. I just want to show you how it looks new when it comes packaged. And, and I'm going to substitute this block here for the larger Pretty in Pink ink block, okay? So we won't be needing that one. In fact, I have another extra one. I don't know where I got that. So, probably because I bought too many of these kits. Let me show you the one that I put together, which is pretty much the same. Thank you for liking and sharing, Judy. I appreciate it. So yeah, I followed the directions in the kit to do the same design. I love it so much. You know that I'm a fan of leaves, greenery, nature. So, I mean, who isn't, right? So I did the same exact layout. In fact, I was even so precise that I tried to put these little sticker pieces, because there's 3 little leaf sticker pieces for each page. I tried to put them in about the same places as they show in the directions. So that is the finished one. Then, of course, I have my stamp set ready. I'm bringing in this ink instead. Here are the other things besides the consumables. You get the direction sheet. This sheet here includes all of the imagery for the stamps. Now, you would just, of course, focus on the language that you have in your kit. I purchased mine with the English language, so that would be the piece that I have. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to either cut these off or fold them back, and I'm going to store my stamps together with this sheet. That way it's easier to read than reading just the clear stamps themselves. Okay, let's take another kit, you guys, because that one I have unboxed and ready to play around with. I told you I have a lot of these. Okay, we're going to pull this one out. Got the directions. We have all the consumables open. Okay, that's where the ink came from. Okay, so now let me show you what's in it besides the directions, the ink, the stamps, the calendar. You have your colored little label pieces, so you can see they all remove from here. And then you've got your white ones, okay? You've got your decorative pieces. You have a sheet of copper leaves. You have a sheet that's a matte solid color. And then you have a couple sheets of kind of like the greenery, more like a realistic greenery. Now there's double of everything. So for this one, it's easy because you have the same exact leaves on this sheet as you do on this sheet. I've already put together half of the greenery images on this second calendar for you. So that's why you can see half of them are gone. But you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Double of everything. On this page, you have 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So there's the doubles of all of those leaves. All right. And then on this one, same thing. Doubles, doubles, doubles. So, oops, that one there, and that one there, and that one there. So you need to kind of pay attention to those if you want to follow the kit exactly. One of the tips that I'm going to give you right off the bat is to take your background off of your white labels so that you have a slightly darker background here behind it. It gives more of a difference between the label and the actual non-label part. So I'm going to take this and toss this aside. It's going to be easier for me to focus in on the stamping. And then we're going to get our ink ready, our stamps ready. I'm also using alternate blocks because I use the ergonomic ones that Stampin' Up! Provides through the online store. You can, if you're a kit collector, you don't have to ever buy a block because you're going to get a ton of blocks. There are 12 months, okay? You have them all on here. There are 4 months that are going to use the smaller labels. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 smaller labels. So 4 of them are going to be used up by the smaller shortened months. So we can just kind of like wipe away those right now, just kind of ignore them. Okay, that means you have 4 extra. And then that leaves 8 other months. Those 8 other months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, are longer strips. That means you have 3 extras. So if you make mistakes when stamping, you have an extra one to use, or an extra 2 or 3 or 4, all the way up to 7. You have 7 extra pieces, but just be careful of which months go on to which ones because they need to fit. There are a couple months where you could probably make them fit into the size that they weren't intended for, but the months that you want to have in the smaller section kind of come right in the middle of the year. Not smack dab in the middle, but sort of in the middle. So it's April, May, June, July. Those are the shorter months as far as the stamp sizes. April, May, June, and July. Okay, those are going to be the ones that go on the smaller ones. Then you have January, February, March, and then August, September, October, November, December for your other 8 on the longer ones. And those correspond to these size labels. So you have 6 over here, 2 over here of the longer ones. So there's your 8 long ones. And then you have 4 of the shorter ones. And those go with the shorter months, okay? We're gonna have extra white labels if you don't make any mistakes. And we're gonna have these little outline areas. See what's behind that? It's kind of like a little background, right? So we're gonna save those for our cards. We're also going to save leftovers from our leaves, but let's first just work on a couple of the pages, okay? So when you first open this up, you see what the supplies are in the kit. This shows you all the contents of the kit. You have your labels, you have your leaves, you have your stamps, your block, your ink, and your calendar. Then when you open it up fully, you're going to get all of the instruction. The instruction is laid out so that you have 4 months for up here, 4 here, 4 here. Okay, so that equals 12. Now, in this section up here where there's 4, it's actually divided into 2 sections. So you have 2 months, 2 months, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Same thing all the way down. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that is because your leaves are going to correspond to the months that are over here, and all of those months are 6 months apart from each other, well, half a year from each other. So January is opposite of July in the calendar. February is opposite of August in the calendar. So we're taking the opposite months, and the opposite months are going to receive the same leaf embellishments if you are following the directions as intended. All right. And it's pretty easy. You're going to be inking up your stamps. You're going to be stamping them on the white. You're going to be layering them onto the labels. And then you're going to be using these little accent pieces behind the stamped layered pieces. So let's do one. We're going to take the January month. And for January, we need this one. I'm going to pull it by the stem, and I'm going to leave all of those inside pieces inside. Okay, that's a little hint. So I've got that piece, I have got this piece, and the last one I need is this one. So I'm taking all 3 of them at the same time and holding them in my hands. Then I looked at the directions, and the directions told me that the metallic one on all of these is the one that's the furthest back. You can put them on there however you want, but if you want to follow directions, just glance really closely at the imagery and you're going to see how they layer on top of each other. So this one layers on sort of like in this spot. And then we have another one, this one here and this one here. And these kind of go back and forth. The solid colored foliage versus the one that's more realistic. They kind of go back and forth. Sometimes you see that one on top, sometimes you see that one on top. So just so you know. Now in this case, it really doesn't matter because, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either way, but that is the way that those are added to the page for January, as you can see. Now I did it very rough and loose, but it's approximately in those areas. Then you take your long strip and one of your stamps, and we'll just do January and we'll do July right now just to stamp a July one, just to have that ready. Do a short one and a long one. When you mount your stamps for these, especially the longer ones, do it like this, where you relax your stamp. It's upside down, okay? You relax your stamp, and then you grab it with your block. And I always grab my stamps with my blocks so that they're not lined up with the edges of my blocks, because I don't want the edges of my blocks to dictate how I'm stamping. I don't want to subconsciously look at that, right? So I purposely put them kittywampus. So we'll ink that up and we'll hover over the top, and because it's clear and because I'm using a nice large size block, I can see edge to edge on that label and I can stamp it down. If you pick a really small block for your large stamp, you're not going to see that edge to edge look. Okay, now we have our July. We'll do the same thing. Because the background is a little bit darker in color than my foreground, which is what I'm stamping on, it's a little bit easier for me to see where I'm stamping. Okay, and I'm going to close this up because we're not going to do much more of that for now. The January one, as you can see in the directions, gets that color. So you have a blue, you have kind of like a dark peacock green. You have a couple blues. Yeah, there's blues, there's greens, there's like a garden green in here, there's a crumb cake, and then there's a light Lost Lagoon. We're using the light Lost Lagoon. And we're gonna mount that same way it shows there, just because, but you could mount it however you want. And then that's gonna get stuck right in this spot. Now, what are these calendars for, Rachel? Oh my gosh, a perpetual calendar is like the best thing to have for organization, for all of those constants that happen each year, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, all of those things that you want to remember each year on that exact date on the calendar. So a long time ago, and how many of you you've even chimed in already, how many of you bought the perpetual calendars that Stampin' Up! Used to have years back? Gosh, way back in the beginning when I was a demonstrator, and this was probably maybe 20 years ago. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But I had, at that time, bought them all up, but they were like, you had to stamp them all. There were no little sticker sheets to make them quick. So they did take a little bit longer. I would host these classes. Let's do our perpetual calendar class. You know, my clubs would want to do them. And it was so much fun. I have like all my relatives have copies of them, and they were a blast. And I still had that one from years back until I made this one. So it's an up-to-date one. It's, I don't know. It's just, I wanted a new one. It was time. And I love all of the consistent look on all the pages. If you do want to do something more focused on what the month looks like, you can certainly do that. Then you would have all of these sticker pieces left over to make pretty cards or scrapbook pages or whatever. So if you would rather just get the Perpetual Beauty Calendar Kit for the calendar itself, then you can do January with snow images, February with heart images. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what we did back in the day with those other ones. Nancy has one. Yeah, those were so much fun. Barbara has one. And Lynn remembers the classes. Hi, Lynn. So yeah, it was like a blast. And I mean, if you do not want to put leaves on all of your pages, you can certainly personalize your calendar to make it more seasonally themed or holiday themed or event themed, right? So it's one of the best tools ever. I think you need to buy them all up. Now watch, we'll have a shortage of them. No, hopefully not. But buy them up and give them out as gifts, even if they're belated Christmas gifts or if they're gifts for the Christmas or whatever, but everybody needs one. And you can give it any time of year because the calendar can start any time of year. You could give this one in August. There's no day of the week in it. It's just the number. So January always has 31 days. February, that one goes back and forth. So you'll see 29 on there, although you won't use the 29 every year. But yeah, every single page is set up so that it works with any calendar year. Oh, and something that I did on mine, and I want to show you, I'll just show you the August one here. Because I'm thinking August one doesn't have as much personal on it, so let me show you that one. I don't want to be displaying everybody's birthdays and stuff, but these are my loved ones and family and stuff. Okay, so I have my mom and her birthday. I hope she doesn't hate me for sharing this, but I put the year that people either got married or that they were born. I even put my little pets in there, like when they were born and maybe the year that they passed, so that I can remember them year after year. So that's how I did that. Now let's take the extra pieces. What extra pieces are you gonna have? You are gonna have, and you can already see because I took and did half of the calendar already, and I'll show you that half in just a second, but I have leftover leaf interiors on some of these. Here's some leaf interiors, here's some. So let's go ahead and put together those card ideas that I was telling you about. Again, you're gonna be using more product than I normally do with kit alternates because this one does not have a lot extra. You're gonna cut your cardstock in half. So it's 5.5 inches, and you can use the basic white thick or the basic white regular. You do too, Heidi? Yes. You know, because we want to remember when they were born, when they passed away. Then you want to go to, 8 inches in this direction. So, oh, and I should show you the measurement sheet. Let me bring that up first. We're going to take a pause here. All right, we're going over to the computer screen so you can see what the finished cards are going to look like. You can see the measurements. So we have 5.5 by 8 inches scored parallel to the short side at 3 3/4 inches, that sort of thing. So, and then we have the scraps. We have full of life designer paper that we're going to be using in there. Those are all the extra supplies, the calendar kit plus the Friends of Life stamp set, the full of life designer paper. They're in the same suite, by the way. Basic white medium envelopes that you can mail your cards. Then you can use either the white thick or the white regular. We have some neutrals markers and Regals markers because I'm going to show you how to use those as ink pads so you don't have to own all the ink pads. There's not a lot of supplies here except the fact that you are bringing in a stamp set and a designer pack of paper. You don't have to use this exact stamp set or this pack of paper. You could apply this idea to a lot of different papers and stuff out there and a lot of imagery, but I thought this one was perfect because of how the leaves turn out. 2 lines per date. There are, Karen. But on our other calendar, we only had 1 line per date. So I'm excited. I actually just, if there's 3 people, I will take and share a line. It's a large enough calendar where you can, write someone's name, their birth year, and then comma, and then another person's name, if you're writing small enough. Or you could take and, write small enough so that you can fit extra lines between. Maybe you want to draw extra lines. You could do that too. Okay. Where is this sheet, Barbara asks. Thank you for that question because I forget to sometimes mention. When my blog post that's connected to this video goes live at 12:15 today, and my website, by the way, is stampyourartout.com. When you go there at 12:15, so a little under an hour, you'll be able to see photos, the photos that you saw on that sheet, but you'll be able to see bigger images of those photos. You'll be able to see the measurements and the visual supply list, all of that stuff. A link to the video will be in that post. It's kind of like my home base, my website. So if you stop there, you'll be able to print off or even just download and save this PDF, okay? All right, so let's go back to this. So we have 8 inches. I sold you, Gail Beth. I love it. Okay, so it's 8 inches by 5 and 5.5. So it's 5.5 inches tall. And then we're going to go to 3 3/4 inches, and we're going to score. Now that leaves this section 4 1/4. So if you'd rather, you could score it 4 1/4, and that would leave 3 3/4. It doesn't matter. I just gave you that measurement to let you know that the front flap is smaller than the rest of the card base, okay? So it's gonna look like this. And then we need some sheets of designer paper. So we're gonna cut those. And I don't have a lot left in the original cards that I created because Rachel was not thinking, oh, Rachel, silly Rachel. I used this side for one card, this side for another, and I had already used up, I think, 2 of these sheets already. So I had none of those left. So I can't duplicate that one exactly, but I will use this one for our first sample card. And then I think with, which one was it? There's one where I did the same thing. This one here, where I had used that side, I don't know. Anyways, gorgeous papers. If you haven't seen these yet, I'm just reacquainting you or introducing you to these beautiful 6x6 papers. They're nice, bright, and cheerful. They have these white lines that are real like dominant in there. I'm gonna set those there for now. Okay, so this paper, we're now going to cut for the front of our card. If we want our sunburst or starburst or our burst, whatever you wanna call it, in the middle, then we need to think about the width. We have a 6-inch wide paper. We have a 5.5 inch tall card, and I'm gonna have my layer be 5 1/4 inches tall. That means I have 3/4 of an inch, okay? 3/4 is the same as 6/8. So those of you that like math. If we take 6/8 and cut that in half, we have 3/8. We're gonna cut off 3/8 on the top and 3/8 on the bottom. And I just wanna make sure I'm doing this the same as my other card. Okay, so 3/8, we're gonna go to that mark right there. And we're gonna trim and do the same thing on the opposite side. 3/8 and trim. And you should see on this side it going to the 5 1/4 inch mark here, okay? So we have our height for our card, and now we get to decide where we want that burst to go. Do we want that burst to be in the middle? Do we want it to be, you know, where do we want it to be? So I wanted it to be in the middle. So I took this section, and remember that was 3 3/4 inches, and I said to myself, how far away is that from 6? It's 1, 2 1/4, or 2 2/8. So if I cut off 1 1/8 from each of the other ends, I'm good. 1 1/8 from this end, and 1 1/8 from this end. Now I have my layer. Oh, I did that wrong. I forgot. My layer is going to be slightly smaller. Oh, Rachel always has to make some mistake during a live, doesn't she? Okay, I'm starting over. Oh dear, oh dear. 3/8? That's okay, because repeating is good sometimes, right? 3/8? Okay, instead of 3 3/4, we want our front layer to be 3 1/2. So 3 1/2 to 6 is 1, 2, 2 1/2. So 2 1/4 is what I'm chopping off. 1 1/4, I mean, from each end. 1 1/4, not 1 1/8, 1 1/4, and 1 1/4. Now we have the perfect layer. I'm going to hang on to these. These I'm going to toss with my other scraps that I just had because I'm sure I'll use those pretty strips. So we'll just set those over there. And this is what I'm saving right now for my card. I'm going to put these over here. I'm going to pull out white scrap next. Okay, my white scrap. The colors are stunning, aren't they? Oh, thank you so much for sharing that link there, Heidi. So I've got a piece of sticky paper that is really, really cool stuff. Do any of you know what this is? I'm rubbing it over the top of my copper leaf interior pieces here. And what I'm trying to do is make this stick to those pieces. I'm using a product called Press and Seal. It is some amazing stuff. It's used for food typically, but in the crafting world, we can pick up stickers with it. So I'm going to slowly curve this paper away. I'm curling the back away so that I'm pulling those stickers up. See how it's pulling that? Okay, well, let's do the same. Oops, it didn't grab that one. And you know what? It will help if you actually pull the background away too. And I forgot to do that because it's in my way. It's okay. We'll make it work. What do I mean by the background? I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, there we go. We got it all. And the background wants to come with it. So this here, oopsie, don't stick down yet. This here, and sometimes it's easier to grab once you have your leaves all off of there, but all of this would get removed. Okay, and once that's removed, then you really only have left the skeleton interiors of the leaves, and it's so much easier to grab it and pick it up. I'll wait till I'm done putting together the rest of my calendar to do that. But now we have this. Okay, we've picked up the interior of our leaves. We're just going to set that down onto a piece of white scrap, and then we'll slowly pull this back. I think I missed a little sticker somewhere. It's gone. So we'll slowly pull this back, and then we'll take our snips, which is in our lovely tool caddy. I just have to point out how awesome the Country Hive is, by the way. I was just chatting with Ashley this morning, and I thought, you know what, let's show off some of their fun stuff again. This is the tool caddy. It holds my scissors, my bone folder, my take your pick, tweezers, my seal, my glue dots, my glue, my tape, my dimensionals. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so now we're going to take and trim these. So we're cutting around, and we're leaving a 1/16 to maybe an 1/8 of an inch, sort of in between. on the edges. So I'm cutting with that border all the way around like that. And I could, you know, I can make it more detailed if I want to. I can come in and really clean that up some more, but that's what I got for that. Let's set that off to the side. Let's take another one. Let's take the backing off. I think it'll make it easier on these. All right, yeah, this is good. I think it's better if we take the backing off, you guys. I won't take it off the whole thing. I'll just take it off a portion. Because we need a couple leaves down here. Okay, they're exposed now. Exposed better than they were before. Okay, so next, whoops, where'd that go? Somewhere. Oh, it's on the back of my hand. Now it's there. Okay, that's what happens when you go fast. So these leaves here too, that's what I would do. I'm gonna grab my, oh, I already threw it away. So let's grab another one. I'm gonna grab these guys now. And with these guys, I don't really care where they're sitting on my paper because they're far enough apart where I'm not gonna cut them all together. They're gonna get cut into 3 sections. So I have 1 section and 2 sections. And then let's go ahead and grab these. Isn't this fun? Oh, thanks, Polly. And thank you so much, Tony, for your Christmas card and for sharing. By the way, I've been asking for cards and not, you know, because I want to fill my wall with Christmas cards, but I do show and shares once in a while. So if you have a card, whether it's a holiday card or whether it's just a beautiful card that you've made that you want to have shared in my show and share on January 4th, please send it my way. Reach out to me if you need my address. Okay, so after we've got those, then these two I cut together because I thought that they worked really well together. Again, you just fussy cut around them, and it's not too hard because you're not going in all of these nooks and crannies. You're really doing mostly curved and straight cuts. You know, you're just following a straight line that's rounded. It's not really a straight line, is it? Okay, and then this one here, and this one I kept kind of in one piece. I think it was one of the first ones I made. You want to cut beyond the leaf. You got to cut beyond it, otherwise it's you're not going to be able to get a big enough border. So see what I mean here? You're going to cut beyond, and then you can come back and you can line up your scissors where it needs to go to get that same size border that you had on the other side of the leaf. Okay, and then that. And I'm just going to do those. I really have to stop. I want to keep showing you everything. Okay, there. Now we have enough to kind of create with. So we'll use those. These I would cut separately, and I'll show you the finished card, and you'll be able to see how it goes together. The next thing is these little guys here. So these are extra. And we're going to take and cut this one out here. And I'm just cutting right between the colors. You want to have your reading glasses on when you do this. Did I ever tell you guys the story of when I was on a retreat and my friend Sue came over to see my journaling and see my pages that I'd worked on? And she goes, "Oh my gosh, Rachel, you write way too small." She goes, "Someday you're going to need reading glasses." And sure enough, she was right. Okay, so I've cut that. And I'm going to put that back on my sheet here just so I have a safe place for it. This is another piece that I'll use. So after you've done your calendar and you have all of those outline areas, you're going to be using those pieces, and you're going to be using the extra labels. And remember I said you're going to have, I think you're going to have 4 extras of these and 3 extras of these. So you could make up to 7 cards if you got creative with your leaf interior pieces. I did 6 because I used this one twice, and this set twice. We're going to stamp onto that piece. This is why I'm telling you this set is the perfect set, because look at the size of the words and the font. They're blockish. They look like they work just the same as these words. We're going to take the one that says love you, and we'll pull that out, mount it onto our block, grab our ink, and stamp it down. And I'm stamping it onto a smaller one. It will fit. Coming in at the side here. It's very hard. Oh yeah, I messed up on that. It's very hard to stamp in a little space on a video because you can't like put your head right over the top of it or everybody sees the top of your head. But you get the idea, right? You're gonna stamp in that space. That is gonna be added to this piece. And if I remember correctly, yes, I think what I did, I think I used scraps for that too. I think what I did is I had thin little scraps of white. And I did. It was about a week ago when I made these, so forgive me. I'm 56 and I can't remember everything that I do from day to day. I can't even remember what I had for dinner yesterday. Or can I? Okay, and so what I did is I mounted these little stickers first onto the strips, and they're not going to be perfect. It's okay. I mean, you can cut them to the exact size if you want to, but as long as you have a little non-sticky background to put your words together and your outlines together, you're going to have a piece that you can pop up on dimensionals. If you don't care about popping it up on dimensionals or adding it with dimensionals, sorry, I always use the words pop it. If you don't care about that, you can take and just stick these on directly. Let's put the card together. I'm going to use my seal adhesive. And I'm putting the, oh, I already did it opposite of what I should have. That's okay. We're going this way now, guys. All right, so we have a slightly different card, and our love is not straight, and it's got a little ink mark on it. I know, we're not letting anything go to waste, Sally. This is not normally what I do, but I just thought, how are we going to do alternates with this kit if I love the kit as is? But I will show you a couple other ideas too. Now I could take either one of these, and because I have this on the right side, I'm going to use this piece. And I'm going to tuck that right underneath over here. So you see an extension of those rays. When you open it up, you have it looking like that. Now I could also take this piece and I could put it over here if I want to on some of the cards. You're going to see that. For our love you and for our leaves, I'm going to use my dimensionals and I'm going to add couple back here. Oops. Add that to the front of my card. And then I'm going to tuck my leaves with some seal adhesive. I think I'm going to use the bone folder too. And just give it a little bit of a curve on the end. Leaves have to have a little bit of a motion to them, right? So that's how I would do that card. Love you. And on the inside, I think I would even stamp, I think I did. I'd stamp the heart. There's a heart image in that set. So you could do that. There's also this image, which I think really works well with the imagery of the leftovers from the leaves. I think you could get kind of a cool effect with adding that leaf image in. So there's my love you card. Much better than that one. That one got messed up, man. All right, so that, that we'll have to redo. Then, after I did that card, I put together this one with the other copper leaves. Happy birthday. So you ink up one half of your stamp and stamp down the happy, and then you clean that off and ink up the other half and stamp birthday on the inside. So that was using that brightly colored paper that I showed you first that I used up completely. This is using garden green ink. So Garden Green ink does not come in the kit. The Pretty Peacock ink comes in the kit, but Garden Green does not. And that's where you'll want to invest in markers. If you have all the markers, every set of markers, you have the subtles, the regals, the brights, the neutrals, and then the 2 smaller sets of ink colors. You have all the colors that you need for ink pads. So you can take your Granny Apple Green, that's from the Country Hive too, by the way. It's the wide marker holder. You can take your brush end, and you just color on the back of your stamp. And that will give you an instant ink pad for stamping down. And that's how I got that green, okay? Then this next one, you can tell I was in love with that burst of rays, right? So this is the thank you one. Now this is using different leaves. This is using this one and then those 2 other single ones. So I took and cut them out singly because they were kind of spread out, and I made them look more like a, I don't know, that's not really a succulent, but it's a plant that's growing out of the earth. So I have the thank you there, nothing on the inside. This is using that same, let's call it a succulent, a dead succulent because it's brown. I used the So Excited, and then I used For You on the inside. Some pretty paper from the pack. These are all from the same pack. For this one, I used that swiped paper. It looks kind of like the baby wipe technique going across some cardstock, right? And the green leaves. So I think I cut a little bit more exact on those because they look a little tighter. But those are the green leaves, Miss You, and I have the 2 colors on the side. So when I trimmed off the edges, I put one on one side and one on the other. Or what I did is I probably cut it to size, trimmed off that section over here, and then cut it in half. Put 1/2 there, 1/2 there. And then my last one is using, so let me tell you the inks too. So I've got, I think I used Garden Green ink, and then on this one and this one I used Misty Moonlight ink from my markers. This is the Pretty Peacock again, and this is the Pretty Peacock again. So there we go. Happy birthday. So those are the 6 cards I designed. I designed 6 just because that's how many little labels I had left the first time because I had messed up on one, and I obviously messed up on this other one, so I'm gonna have to redo my love. And once again, I'll just have 6 cards. But you can have 7, or if you wanna keep going with it and doing, you know, grabbing more of these leaf interiors to do stuff with. Okay, so those are the cards. Let me clean up my mess, and I'm going to show you something else with this kit because there's even more. There's so much more, you guys. Okay, I'm going to keep these out though, these pieces. I'm just tidy. We're tidying. We're cleaning up the desk. Okay, next, I was going to share with you my calendar. This is the one that I'd finished, right? No, this is the one we were working on. Okay, so you see how I did this pretty much the same way as the January up there. Well, when I went to July, I decided to just not think about it too much. So the first calendar I made took me an hour because I was going exact. I was trying to do it exactly the same way, right? And then I said, I don't have to do it exactly the same way. So look at the way my July is. See that? My leaves are not the same way. That's okay. They're leaves. They can go anywhere they want. There's my July. This is my August. Okay? Get funky with it. I'm going to put my August words over here instead. Here is my September. And I'm going to put September here instead of that way so you can see the difference. Can you see the difference? Sorry. There we go. There's October. Let's check out October and what that looks like. October. See? So you can tilt them however you want. Another, and that will make them go so much quicker because it's going to work out no matter what. You have plenty of room to put those leaves anywhere you want. If you decided to not use the leaves for your calendar, let's say you want to grab these and do something else with them and you want to make your calendar more themed, then you can take and add in something like this. Now this isn't available until January 7th. It is the Birthday Treats Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. And I've already taken one of these sheets here, and I've punched out all the pieces from it. There's a chocolate cake. Well, we're assuming it's chocolate. It's chocolate iced cake. We've got a couple banners. We've got a pink cake. We've got a set of balloons, 2 sets of balloons, sorry. We've got 6 cupcakes, two of 3 different kinds. We've got candles. And you get twice as much. So you get all of this and all of that, right? So I have, if I look at my calendar and I say I have 12 months, I can do 6 months with this and 6 months with that. So 6 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't necessarily like these. But I could stick them onto my cake if I wanted to and put those back in. Okay. You also have other sheets in here, but they say things like celebrate, happy birthday, happy birthday. And what if your calendar doesn't just include birthdays? And then you have these. So that's what's included in that ephemera pack. But 2 sheets are enough to fill up the whole calendar. Let's grab that calendar back in. What's this one here? This one. So instead of opening up a whole other kit, I decided to copy them so that I could show you what I mean. So on this, I could put the chocolate cake, and I could put January. You know what I mean? On the next one. So this is all in order here. January, this could be February. Maybe my balloons are going up over here and my banners over there, and my February could go across there. So you can still make it simple with ephemera packs. You wouldn't have to stamp the whole thing. For March, I could do 3 cupcakes. Okay, you get the idea? And these don't necessarily have to be birthday if you're not putting happy birthday on every single page. April. Is that April? January, February, March, April. May. Maybe we'll put the balloons on this side now. So you got the idea? Okay, you can change it up and you can make your calendar something more themed. You could stamp on your pages. There's so many options. All right, let's take and bring in this again. I hope my friends don't mind that I'm sharing. Okay, so there we go. I don't have everyone's birthdays on here, by the way, so if you're one of my friends and you don't see your birthday on here. Yeah, I'm not always good at filling in the birthdays, but for family, I have to remember. If I don't remember, I would get really sad. I'm not going to put these back out here. Sorry, I'm putting the cards out here. So there we go. That's the Perpetual Beauty Calendar Kit. Perpetual Beauty Calendar Kit. They didn't call it the Perpetual Birthday because it doesn't have to be birthdays. It can be anniversaries. It can be whatever. What else did I want to share with you? I have some news to share, and then we have prizes. So don't leave yet. Let's see if I made sure. Last chance. I have to tell you about last chance. So we have some items that are leaving us from. If I can, oh, it's back here. I forgot. I'm sticking it back here now with all of my last chance items that are leaving. So this catalog is retiring. It's done the January 6th is the last day. And so there might be items from there that are leaving. You'll want to go to the online store. Let me bring you there. Let me take you on over to my computer. Hang on. All right, here we go. So, oh, and there we go. There's the Perpetual Birthday Calendar if you're interested in getting it. But I'm going to click the Stampin' Up! Logo. This is where you will find the store. Oh, and look it's the Full of Life stuff. Okay, I'm going to go to Specials. I'm going to go to Last Chance. And there you will see everything that's Last Chance in one big grouping. You can shop from the online store through your demonstrator, through yourself if you're a demonstrator, shop the goodies. Or if you don't have a demonstrator, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or rep, you can shop through me. You would just go to my website, stampyourartout.com, and click on the word shop to get to the store. If you're in some area, other area of the store, let's just go shop products. Let's go to embellishments. Let's just go there for now. you'll be able to see anything listed that is retiring or last chance because it's still marked with that symbol within other categories. So if you're looking that way, you can find what you need. So that's last chance. Those items are basically while supplies last. Some of them have already sold out. A huge thank you to my channel members. The new emojis, I hope that you're enjoying them. They are so much fun. They were fun. I created a bunch of them just in the last 24 hours. I'm going to go over here and check to see if you have used any, because I don't necessarily see them on my iPad. Oh, fun. Fun, fun. Did anybody do the "Oh, Rachel" when I said that to myself? Oh, Rachel. No? I put that in there just so that you could like repeat, because I always talk to myself. The other things, we are going to be going live again on Saturday, December 28th. But that is for my channel members, my supporting channel members. We're going to do a special live on that date. So I hope that you join me if you're a supporting channel member. If you're not, you can join us. There's a link in the description. And then the upcoming lives, when am I going to go live publicly? The next one is Friday, December 20th at 11 a.m. That is in just a couple days. I'm crossing my fingers. My paper pumpkin kit was supposed to arrive on Friday. And then we leave for family stuff, like starting the 21st. Like you couldn't push it back any later. And I'm like, oh no, how am I going to do a live on Friday with paper pumpkin if my kit's coming after my live's done? And then the other day I saw that it's coming on Thursday. Woohoo! And then today, it's forecasted to arrive today. So I'm super excited. I'm hoping to create with it right away. Thanks, Kathy. She's got the sun. She's got the bling. She's got the tape. Think outside the box and the ta-da. Love it. So in 2 days, I hope to share with you my first set of alternates from the latest paper pumpkin kit. And then we have nothing next Wednesday. Why? Because it's Christmas. All of my members put the little holly in now, right? So it's Christmas next week on Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Christmas the day before. So it's going to be a little slow. I'm going to take kind of a break and vacation, and we're not going to go live on Christmas Day. Hope that's okay. On Saturday the 28th is when it's a members only, and then I'll come back to all of you on Thursday, January 2nd. So the day after New Year's Day, we're going to do a Thursday instead. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Trying to keep these around 11 mainly, unless it's a 10 a.m. Saturday one. But yeah, Thursday, 11 a.m. is when we'll do the next class. We have prizes. We have prizes. The prizes that were last week's, we had an issue with Facebook, you guys. Do you remember that? So for those of you that are watching on Facebook, when I ended my live, the way I normally end it, it was not stopping on Facebook. It continued to show that it was live, but it wasn't. And once it posted, no, what happened? I think I had to delete it for some reason. It's not there. I couldn't find it today. I don't know what happened. Anyways, it's not there. So we have one prize winner from last week on the YouTube after live comments. Facebook glitches a lot. Oh my gosh. All right, so let me bring you over here so you can see, and I'm going to pull up my email address. The winner is Bess Kirk 6896, after live comment winner. And what does Bess get? Well, let's go back to the desktop. I have these sets of Christmas cards that I've made in the last couple of years, and I have tons of them. So if you are looking for next year for stocking up on your Christmas cards, that would be the prize that you'd get. You'd get a variety of Christmas cards that I've made. And then if you don't want that, you can choose a tutorial instead. The prize for today is Celebration Early, okay? So if you're a fan of Celebration products, and that is beginning for everybody on January 7th, the way this works is if you order $60 or more worth of product in the US, you get to choose something from here for free. And so demonstrators get to do this early. So I've kind of stocked up. I've got a pack of paper. I've got an embossing folder. I've got sequins. I have kits. So if your name is drawn by Trisha, and we have 2 live winners from the YouTube live comments, if your name is drawn by her, then you are the winner of a celebration item. So yay. And she pulled up the names, Pam D and Lynn K. Awesome. All right, let me try to see if I can find her comment in here. It probably hasn't pulled up yet, but we will tag it when it shows up across my screen here. There we go. So Lynn K and Pam D, make sure that you reach out to me at stampyourartout@comcast.net so that you can claim your prize. Thank you, Gail, for cheering them on. And yes, a Merry Christmas to all of you. Congrats to the winners. Yay. Thanks, Kim. You guys are awesome. Such a nice cheerleading crowd in the background. Let's give a big thank you to Trisha Josephs for moderating on YouTube. And thank you all for chiming in. I really appreciate it when you comment away during my videos. If I'm teaching something and you're watching, I understand, you know, like it's hard to comment, but every once in a while, just throw a comment in there. It gets you entered into a prize drawing. Plus, it just makes for more fun for the people that are watching during the live to communicate with each other. And it's just, I don't know. It's just more fun. All right. Please like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, all of those good things. I will see you in a couple days if you join me live on Friday. And again, that time is going to be 11 a.m. Friday. So we will see you there. And I think I'm only doing it on YouTube because I only have, I don't have any moderators. So I'm only doing it on YouTube. So we will see you Friday, and pay attention. If you're on Facebook normally, just go to the events section and click on the link when it's posted, and it will take you directly to where you can be on YouTube. All right. Thanks, you guys. It was so much fun. Have happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Safe travels to all of you. Enjoy those cookies. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.